Hi everybody, it's Abby Timmis from Abigail Cecile, and I'm going to show you how to make this needlepoint wall hanging. First, we're going to cut off the excess canvas, leaving about 3/4 of an inch around the design area. Remove each corner by making a diagonal cut, making sure to leave about 1/8 of an inch of canvas next to the stitching. Flip your canvas over, and on the back side, place your batting right directly in the center of your needlepoint canvas. And the batting should be cut to the same size as the design area. With your tacky glue, you're going to put a dab of glue right at that corner where the canvas really gets close to the stitching. Then you're going to tuck that little corner in, and this is just going to ensure that the stitching doesn't unravel and the canvas doesn't unravel where it's cut really close. Put some more glue on the canvas at the corner. Seal that corner, and then you're going to pin it with a pin until it's dry, and that pin's just going to hold it in place as it dries. Repeat on each corner and then let it dry. Next, you're going to grab your backing fabric, and you're going to cut that to the same size as your design area plus 1/2 inch around each side. Iron the fabric, and then iron the 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around the rectangle. To create the mitered corner, open the ironed seam at the corner, fold down the corner creating a triangle. You'll be able to see an iron square at the center of the fold. Then refold the seams, which will create the perfect corner. Pin that in place and repeat on each corner. Align your fabric over the batting and the back side of the canvas. We're going to pin the fabric in place around the edges. We're going to first pin each corner. Really try to line up those mitered corners to the mitered corner of the canvas, making it very flush with the edge. Once each corner is pinned, you're going to place a pin in the center of each side. Once each corner and the center of each side has a pin, just fill in with 2 to 4 more pins along each side. Using 4 inches of either ribbon, yarn, or strips of fabric, you're going to create a loop. I personally use the leftover wool thread braided together to create my loops. And you're going to place those loops between the canvas and the fabric about 1/2 inch from the edge. Glue that in place on the canvas side of the loop with tacky glue and let it dry. You have the option to either sew the canvas and fabric together or glue them together. To glue, simply use a strong fabric glue and place the glue in between the fabric and the canvas and let it dry according to the instructions on the bottle. Now, if you have a curved needle and you want to sew, then go ahead and use it. I find it makes it easier. So we're going to do an invisible stitch, and you're going to tie a knot and anchor it in the fold of the fabric. Now you're going to take a stitch by pushing the needle into the folded edge of the fabric, and you're going to take about a 1/4 inch stitch. Next, position your needle in the canvas directly opposite to where you came out of the fabric. Take the needle through the fold about a 1/4 inch again, and pull tight and repeat. You're going to repeat this stitch all the way around the entire edge of the canvas. When you reach the ribbon loops, make sure to catch them in the stitching for extra strength. Tie off at the end and you are done with your sewing. Okay, so let's create the tassels, and I'm just using leftover floss and thread from the project. And I am starting by winding the thread around my hand to create a circle of thread. I'm going to take a piece of the same color thread and I'm going to tie that bunch of thread together. I'm going to knot it once, turn it over, and knot it twice. With a coordinating color of thread, I'm going to place that on the upper inside of the bunch of thread, and then I'm going to fold it over on top of it to create the tassel, and then I'm taking that thread and winding it around the tassel, catching that end of pink thread as I go. Grab a needle and thread the pink thread onto that needle, and then what you're going to do is take that pink thread down through the neck of the tassel and into the bottom of the tassel, securing the end. And you're also going to make a knot which will just help secure it that much more. Finally, clip those ends right off. Grab your scissors and cut through the loop at the bottom of the skirt. And then just trim that skirt so it's really even, matching it up to any previous tassels that you've already created. My tassels are about 2 inches in length. Really, you can do any length that you prefer. After creating all your tassels, pin them in place just to get the right positioning before sewing on. And you're going to grab a needle and thread and attach the tassel to the bottom of your canvas. So you're going to sew the tassels on by the top loop of the tassel, and I found it to be really helpful to sew it in two places, so to make two stitches attaching it to the canvas, and I just found that that helped the tassel to face forward and lie nicely. Once all your tassels are attached, you're going to take a wooden dowel, and the size of the dowel is going to depend on the size of your project. Mine's about 3/8 of an inch thick, and I found that at a craft store. And I cut it down to size and then painted it white. Using leftover thread again, I'm going to cut 2 long lengths of thread. And taking those lengths, wind them several times around the white rod. Then, using the 2 lengths, tie them together several times into tight knots. Place the rod through the loops. Find a center point and a height that you like, and then repeat the winding and the tying on the opposite side. Thread the ends onto a needle. Flip your project over. And on the back side of the rod, push the needle through the thread, securing the ends. Clip the ends, and then using tacky glue, squirt a dab onto the loose ends and just dab it down, securing that so it doesn't come off or untie. Repeat on the other side and allow it to dry. Hang on a wall and enjoy your beautiful work. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. For more tutorials and inspiration, visit abigailcecile.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy stitching!